Now on 12, the South Bronx community launches an anti-violence basketball tournament today. And hundreds of Bronx teens coming together to help clean the streets in and around Crotona Park. This is News 12. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 The Bronx. We are as local news gets. Well, Bronxites come together at a local spot that has been tainted by gun violence to teach kids how to steer clear of the bad things in life and shoot for the moon. News 12 The Bronx reporter Anthony Carlo has that story. And as this is the first weekend of autumn, we would like to ask you, what is your favorite part about the fall season? You can vote at news12.com or by going to channel 612. Well, around 300 Bronx teens took time this afternoon to make Crotona Park a better place for all Bronxites by raking leaves and picking up trash all over that area. The high schoolers are from all over our borough. They volunteer with the organization called Build On. This big cleanup effort kicks off the volunteering season for those kids.
I love going out, doing service, helping out the community, just seeing that change every day.
Our main goal is just to get kids involved in their community and be civically engaged and just get them to think outside of the school and think about their community.
And from parks to community centers, the organization does volunteer work 6 days a week all year round right here in our borough and across the globe. They also travel overseas to build schools in developing countries. Very great group. And we want to hear from you about Build On and all the stories you see here on News 12. Just head over to Facebook and leave us a comment by searching for News 12 The Bronx. You might even see your comment right here on the air. Well, after 2 years, police believe they have cracked the case of a 53-year-old Bronx woman who was found dead in her home. Officials took 51-year-old Antonio Gonzalez into custody Saturday. That's the man they believe is responsible for stabbing Cynthia Taylor to death. Officers responding to a wellness check in December of 2014 on East Clark Place say they found Taylor unconscious and unresponsive with multiple stab wounds to her torso. News 12 is told Gonzalez is being charged with manslaughter and murder. And in more 12 on crime news, a Bronx family is making a desperate plea to find a missing teenage girl. Take a look. Aaliyah Thomas was last seen Thursday at her grandmother's home on Lacombe Avenue. Her family believes the 14-year-old was enticed to leave by an older man she may have met online. We're told Aaliyah is a diabetic and may be in need of some medication. And another Bronx family is asking for your help to find this man. 24-year-old Ron Holland was last seen Monday at his home over in Van Nest around 7 o'clock in the morning. We're told he's around 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighs around 180 pounds. Now, anyone with information on these missing people mentioned here on the news, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number on your screen is 1-800-577-TIPS. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. We have more hyper-local news on the way, so stay with us. Welcome back. So not so good news for anyone thinking about retirement. A new study by Bankrate.com finds New York is the worst state to retire in. The study ranked all 50 states based on cost of living, crime rate, health care quality, state and local tax burden, personal well-being for seniors, and the weather. Wyoming, South Dakota, and Colorado ranked as the top 3. In the latest now in the race for the White House, the New York Times editorial board officially endorses Hillary Clinton. The endorsement says that Clinton's experience as Secretary of State makes her more qualified than Donald Trump. The editorial will appear in print tomorrow. Now, the Times has endorsed only Democrats for president back to John Kennedy in 1960 and has backed that party's presidential nominees more often throughout its history. And the stage is set for Monday's big debate, both campaigns expecting a record-setting television audience. The Clinton campaign has invited famous businessman Mark Cuban to sit in the front row. Now, he's been a constant supporter of Hillary and has been a critic of Trump throughout the presidential campaign. Trump, who doesn't want to see Cuban in the front row, tweeted this earlier saying, quote, "If dopey Mark Cuban of failed benefactor fame wants to sit in the front row, perhaps I will put Jennifer Flowers right alongside of him." The tweet taking shots at Bill Clinton, who admitted to having an affair with actress Jennifer Flowers back in 1988. Again, the presidential debate is expected to take place on Monday at Hofstra University in Hempstead, Long Island. This will be the first of 3 debates. There are just 44 days left until Election Day. And in news from around the country, police in Washington state are looking for the man who opened fire in a shopping mall, killing 5 people. Police say this is the man they're looking for. They believe he acted alone. Police say he entered the mall holding a rifle, shooting 4 women to death. A 5th victim died later at the hospital. Police are asking people in that area to stay inside as the manhunt continues for that shooter. A nationwide prison strike is entering its 3rd week. At least 29 prisons in 12 states have launched strikes in support of improving prison labor wages and working conditions. As of now, more than 24,000 prisoners have missed work, an action to shut down prisons all across the nation. The strike started on September 9th on the 45th anniversary of the Attica prison uprising. And in North Carolina, large peaceful protesters gathered today in a park near the Charlotte Police Department. This after a series of protests and rallies following the fatal police shooting of Keith Lamont Scott. Protesters are calling for police to release body camera and dash cam video of Scott's shooting, chanting "No tapes, no peace." Charlotte officials say they may release those videos later today. And in Ohio, 2 cities are in talks about possibly merging in hopes of saving their economic status. Cleveland and East Cleveland, 2 of the country's poorest cities, are considering joining forces to improve the city infrastructure and finances. The annexation is not a sure thing. Officials say the state of Ohio will need to provide millions to begin those fixes, a request that's been rejected by the state legislature and Governor John Kasich. In Washington, a celebration of African American heritage takes over the National Mall as political leaders and cultural icons come together to mark the opening of the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture. The kickoff started Friday afternoon with live musical performances. The Washington Monument grounds, right next door to the new museum, has transformed into a folk festival, showcasing African American food and culture. The event drawing people from all across the country.
I decided it was important enough for me to come and witness history.
The museum is home to more than 3,000 artifacts and was built for $540 million. Visitors begin their tour far underground. In fact, 70% of the museum is below ground level.
And it's dark and it's low down there, and it's to make you feel sort of like it was riding in a slave ship.
Saturday's dedication event brought a long list of celebrities and politicians. President Barack Obama, in his remarks, acknowledging the difficult chapters of American history that the new museum has preserved.
The best history helps us recognize the mistakes that we've made and the dark corners of the human spirit that we need to guard against. And yes, a clear-eyed view of history can make us uncomfortable.
And with racial tensions still high in other parts of the country, the president said the new museum will help to build understanding among all Americans.
This is the place to understand how protest and love of country don't merely coexist, but inform each other. How men can proudly win the gold for their country, but still insist on raising a black-gloved fist.
Time now for a check of your hyper-local weather forecast. Let's take a look at the 7-day where the weekend is always in view. Overnight tonight, mainly clear and chilly. See a low of 53 degrees, really a fall-like weekend. For your Sunday, sunny, a little more breezy and cool, high only reaching 69. And look at the mixed bag as you head back to work. Monday, we're looking for a high of 70 degrees, much more comfortable for this time of year. Tuesday, we'll see a chance of rain, high of 71. And the chance of rain doesn't come back again until Thursday and Friday. Temperatures all throughout the week moderating in the high 60s and low 70s. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 The Bronx. Coming up, cannolis and empanadas and a whole lot more. It's all part of the Taste of Morris Park Food Festival. We'll have that story and more when we come back, so stay with us. Welcome back. Well, it is not too late to still enjoy those outdoor food festivals right here in our borough. And News 12 The Bronx reporter Joanna Hernandez heads down to the Taste of Morris Park to show us what they're made of.
Now let me tell you, Bronxites are in.
Tens of thousands of people marching in Mexico City against Mexican president's push to legalize same-sex marriage. Those supporting the bill were also in attendance at the city's iconic Angel of Independence monument, but were separated by hundreds of police and barriers. The march included several people from various cities throughout Mexico. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. Coming up in sports, we will head to the high school gridiron where week 3 in the season includes an interborough matchup that's not decided until the fourth quarter. That is coming up in sports.
The News 12 app is better than ever. Now you can listen to News 12 on the go with the new CarPlay.
Flooding in Iowa is forcing residents out of downtown Cedar Rapids. A city manager says the Cedar River will continue to rise until Tuesday, but says that flooding won't be as bad as authorities initially expected. Weather experts estimate about 1,500 properties will be damaged. A flood map posted to the city's website shows areas where residents need to evacuate by 8 o'clock on Sunday, and a curfew will be in place until 7 a.m. the following morning. And none of that around here, but let's check in with Bruce with your weather on the 2s.
There's fall weekend.
Snapchat introduces new video recording glasses called Spectacles. The glasses will record 10 seconds at a time and then upload them to Snapchat stories through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. The glasses are the first hardware from the company, which will now call itself Snap Incorporated, since it now has more than one product. The app will still keep its same name of Snapchat. Thank you very much, Dan. I'm Dave Roush, and you're watching News 12 The Bronx. We are as local news gets. More hyperlocal headlines are on the way. But first, let's take another look at our question of the day. With the fall weather in full swing, we want to know, what is your favorite part about fall? And there's several ways you can weigh in. You can vote by heading over to news12.com. You can also go to channel 612, and you got some choices there. Do you like seeing the changing leaves? Or maybe you like to get out to those Halloween events? Or if you're someone like me, maybe you just really enjoy football season. Regardless of your answer, we want to hear from you. Vote at news12.com and stick around. We're coming right back.
When there's news in your neighborhood, we want to know.